Welcome to another video podcast show here at the Berman Law Group Studios in Boca Raton. Your host, Evan Golden, a.k.a. Golden TV. I hope you are hungry. If not, I'm going to get your mouth watering after you meet our guest, Evan Darnell. We got the same name, Ev here in studio. Evan Darnell represents, you are the, what's your nickname? Is Chief Secretary?
I am the Secretary of Steak.
Secretary of Steak. So he created the Red Meat Lovers Club. It's an exclusive networking club. I've had a chance to go to some of these events. Unbelievable group of people with great food and great marketing. I got a lot of business from it. So it's a very, very cool exclusive club. I want to find out how Evan created this, why he created it. And if you don't know about it, here's your chance to get involved and start experiencing this and joining the club, because they have chapters all over the country. They do amazing events. Probably the best gourmet food you could ever imagine. Chefs from all over the world come in, and people come together. They eat, they network, they have fun. And a lot of times you're getting charities involved, which is awesome. So you're giving back.
Every single event, we call them meetings. We highlight a different charity, and we raise just a ton of money from live auction, silent, and raffle. And I'm proud to say, in the last 23 months, we've raised over $450,000.
Wow, that's
for
amazing.
different 501c3s, and we just set a record. We raised $100,000 2 Thursdays ago, which was epic. It was just a very special night for the Jordan Ogman Foundation.
That is absolutely wonderful. I was thinking like you're a true humanitarian. I was trying to think you're a true humanitarian. Have anyone used that one yet?
Not yet.
Use that one.
I'll steal that. My son is the commander in beef, and my assistant is the speaker of the porterhouse.
That is so great. I love this. I love it.
It's a lot of fun, and all of our members, we're lucky to have over 2,000 people that have joined up since September of 2017. I recreated the Red Meat Lovers Club. I originally founded it in college back at Tulane in 1994 because there was a club called SAVE, Students Advocating Vegetarian Eating. And I knew that
they
immediately
must have hated you.
there had to be something a little bit different. So we started the Red Meat Lovers Club.
So back in college, you start this, you see this vegetarian club, you're like, let's get a bunch of guys together and we start eating red meat together?
It was $7 back then. All you can eat burgers and drink warm beer. And in New Orleans, you could pull that off. And that was from 1994 to 1998. Immediately, I went into the New York City restaurant business, managing and running restaurant companies and owning restaurants. And I thought I was retired when I moved to Florida, and that did not work out. I've never been busier in my life.
And it seems like you're having a lot of fun at these events,
It's
though, right?
a lot of fun. We have, it used to be once a month, the last Thursday of the month. And that quickly went into more events where now we have, I have 4 events in the next 14 days in 3 different cities: New York City, Melbourne, Florida, and down here in South Florida. So it's been
you guys are definitely staying
it's
busy.
hard for me to say no to great causes.
Well, that's the thing. It's people are getting together. They're having fun. They're eating great food. And at the end of the day, you're networking, you're marketing, but you're giving back to the community. It's like a win-win-win-win-win.
Yeah, and what originally started off, the first few months, it was just a way to get to know people. You know, like we all live in Delray and Boca, and we moved into a new community, and we're like, you know what, we're going to be friends. That's for sure, but let's just push that through by getting together once a month. And then on a whim, in April of 2018, I found out that one of our members' sons had a foundation named after him. I never met him. He passed away before I ever met him. And on a whim, I got up on a chair in front of 75 guys, and I auctioned off a dinner for 10. And one of our friends, Matthias Kiwanuka from the New York Giants, was there, and we signed some autographed footballs, and we raised $4,500 in 6 minutes. And I knew that we were onto something. And then in May and June of 2018, we raised $43,000 for Boys and Girls Club of Palm Beach County.
So great, man.
Yeah.
So awesome.
It's been a lot of goodness.
It's a better. Look, I've been to a lot of charity events. This one is unique. You guys are definitely putting a spin on ways to raise money.
We don't lead with the charity. You know, it's like we lead with it. Just like what I use the word epic a lot, but I try to recreate what a dinner experience is and what it looks like. So my favorite type of events are doing events in places that you wouldn't normally have a really great dinner. So we create experiences. We've done, MMA nights.
You guys rented out the whole FAU stadium for an event.
We rented out FAU with Bo Jackson. We've done fine dining dinners in gas stations.
Wait, go back. I've never heard that. Fine dining in a gas station?
Yeah,
How'd
so
that work out?
That was with Los Bocados, and I just went to their Diners, Drives, and Dives taping. It's going to be airing in a couple months. We cleared out the shelves inside of the Chevron in Parkland, and the chef had a lot of fine dining experience, so he created like this completely off the menu experience. And what was really fun about it is like if you wanted beer, you just went to the cooler and grabbed a beer. If you wanted like a mid-course Snickers, you'd grab it right off the shelf, ring it up. I somehow rang up $500 in beer that night for my friends.
That's great. No, that's awesome. I know that place, Los Bocados. So viewers and listeners, if you're local, we'll give them a little shameless plug.
Yeah.
It's right on 441 by Holmberg in a Chevron gas station. It's on the west side of the road on 441 State Road 7. So it's a little hidden gem in there if you didn't know about that. Gas station has the best, and that guy's like an award-winning chef in there, right?
He is. Ask for Anthony and Robbie. Tell them the secretary sent you. You can look to the right and you can see a bunch of Red Meat Lovers Club gear on the walls.
That's so cool. Let me ask you, if you're ordering, are you getting filet, ribeye, strip, steak? Like, what's your cut of choice for
cut of choice? So if I'm with a bunch of guys, I'm going to get a ribeye.
Okay.
If I'm going out with my wife, I may get a porterhouse for one or two. She doesn't eat a lot, and I normally have the bulk of the meat, so I'll do that. I've been going a lot to New York Yankee Steak, which we have an event coming up on Wednesday night, and we also really enjoy it. So if I'm going out with a bunch of guys, I may get a bone-in ribeye and take that.
What's
down.
like the biggest steak you've ever taken down? You've seen like the Great Outdoors where John Candy had that?
Yeah, I have not done the 96er challenge. Since I was in the restaurant business, there was always a lot of meat around, so I've served some pretty big steaks. But we rented out the second floor of our first event in New York City. We have a New York City chapter, and that was for Make-A-Wish, and they brought out just platters of porterhouse. So it was like a porterhouse for 40. It was just a big meatopia festival of delicious.
If you have not been to a Red Meat Lovers Club, the best word to use is copious amounts.
Meat mountains.
Meat mountains. It's a sight to see. They got cigars, scotch, whiskey, and just so much red meat that you couldn't imagine. I've seen them have pigs to, like you said, giant porterhouses. So it's a lot of fun. You get to try a lot of different food, and you bring in top chefs.
We just set a record for us, which was the longest table we've ever done, which is 160 people. We did that 10 days ago at the VIP dinner of the Great Smoke, which is in the Palm Beach County Fairgrounds. So one table, it was a little bit smaller than a football field, but it made some great content, and the food was it was literally we cooked up hundreds of pounds of meat. I work a lot with Potions of Motion. They're my favorite caterer.
Shout out Jason Savino, right?
Yeah, shout out Jason and Sexy Chef, who would love your studio. Very golden. They create my vision, so I come up with something just really off the charts, and they say okay. It's great. I'm hoping this year we're working on an idea where I want those arcade cranes.
Of course.
So
where's this going?
with cuts of cryovac meat. So you put in like it could be like $5 for charity, and then you try to win like a skirt steak,
That's
a
fun.
fillet, or we don't charge, but that's the steak that you're going to eat that night.
That's fun. I've seen that, I think, with like a lobster claw game. So I haven't seen it with the steak game yet. So that could be nice.
That's going to take a lot of dry ice, but it's going to be great.
They'll make it happen. So this is so cool talking to you. And viewers and listeners, if you're on social media, I'm sure you're on Facebook and stuff. If you just type in Red Meat Lovers Club, follow them, like them, but you could also see all the different events that are going on. They got the one on March 11th at NYY, which looks really fun. They're going to have auction items and prizes and some special guests, and that's an intimate dinner and so many more coming up. Steak down here, there's so many good steak houses down here, right?
It's great. Well, luckily, I like to do, like, when we go into a steak restaurant, because, like, when we go in there, I don't want to let you get what you normally get. Mm-hmm. So what we do is my first thing, and I talk to a restaurant, I was like, look, everything is family style, including the steak, sliced. So you can try a lot of different things. And I love that atmosphere of communal sharing that really creates a sense of friendship. So,
I like that. It's a bonding experience.
It's a bonding.
You talk, you share. I like that.
Yeah, and since we're a business network, like if we can hang our hat on anything, we are a business networking group. My ideal world is that people are doing business together with people that they like. So what's really fun about our meetings is that you get to skip first base. You're on second base. You're already having drinks with the person that you want to get to know better, and some really great business relationships and partnerships have come out of our
you got
events.
You got a great group of guys in
I have
there.
a great group of guys.
It's eclectic though. I mean, mortgage brokers, realtors, investors, doctors. I mean,
exactly.
It's such a gamut.
Yeah, it's like a really fun chamber of commerce.
Right.
Anyone from the high-end jeweler to our chiropractor, Richard Davison, to our jeweler, Ken Mordecai at Diamonds East. There's a lot of good people. You're like, you always need to know a guy. Well, It's like that's what we do. And then a lot of people, I'm lucky enough, use me personally as a Rolodex of, hey, do you know
the connector, right?
The connector. The meat glue in the hot dog.
You guys get a lot of negative feedback with the organization. I know, obviously, Safe probably was giving you guys the evil eye back in college. What about now? Because so many people are on the vegan train now.
Yeah.
Like, are you getting like negative comments on your social
Not really.
media or people
Not
hating?
really. It's a closed group, and all of your listeners will be immediately approved. Look, this is the secret about the Red Meat Lovers Club. I'm going to tell you the secret.
Oh, here we go. Inside information.
Inside Golden TV.
I love that. I love that.
It's not about the meat. It's not about the meat. It's about the relationships and the charity that comes out of it. It's like Red Meat Lovers Club to me is like, it just rolls off my tongue and I giggle a little, every time I see it. It's not about the meat. Do we serve a lot of meat? Absolutely. But I have guys and women in the club. They're not huge meat eaters. I don't care. It's not about that. It's about the relationships. It's about the philanthropy. I'm very competitive when it comes to raising money for charities.
Well, the numbers speak for themselves. You've done a miraculous job. You've raised a lot of money, and people are having a lot of fun at these events. Yep. If you're a business owner, you could sponsor these events too. You get involved because they get a lot of guests. They get a lot of press getting on shows like this. So it's an opportunity not only for you to become a member, but you could also become a sponsor. The website is very easy, rmlclub.com, RML, redmeatloversclub.com, and that will link you back also to all their social media so you could see all the different events. But you're having fun what you do. I'm glad that you brought this back because it's a great opportunity. It's such a great, fun opportunity.
Yeah, so basically the answer is yes. What we're doing, it's a little old school, like lots of meat, buckets of bourbon, and fistfuls of cigars if you like. And what I like about our dinners, they're all inclusive. So you're not really touching your pocket at night except for the charity component if you want to. And I got to also stress that without our sponsors, I would not be in this chair. At Red Meat Lovers Club, you go to our sponsors. We call them partners in prime. And without them, we're nothing. We wouldn't have a club. Because I'll tell you, coming from the restaurant business for 20 years, this is as much work as I've ever done. It's a lot of fun. My wife has gotten accustomed to it. Shout out Melissa Darnell. And it's been a great ride. I can't wait for the future. My goal is to have 30 clubs in 30 months, which means that's 100.
Is there like an opportunity where someone could kind of license this out and open up their own club through your branch in their own maybe city? Is that like part of maybe the growth? Or
I think that there needs to be a me
okay
in the city. So the answer is yes. I've been going to all the events, and again, they're like once a week. But I don't have a me in different cities, but that is my future goal, is to have people put together standalone events, find sponsors within the city, and have just a really great stable of nonprofits that we can highlight. So we have one coming up next Thursday in Melbourne, Florida. That to me is going to be interesting because I don't know a lot of people in Melbourne. The restaurant Ember and Oak has really grasped what we do. I invited them down to our Make-A-Wish Super Bowl party, and they saw what we do firsthand. So, yes, the answer is yes. I'd like that a lot.
you guys are just growing and getting bigger, and more people are getting involved. So it's an awesome club. It's an awesome networking event, and business is being drummed up from it, and lots of smiles and laughter. And again, at the end of the day, always a charitable, philanthropic element, which is one of the best things that I saw from this, and that's why I wanted to have you on the show to kind of share that. We love people that are committed to the community, that are giving back, that are humanitarians. So awesome stuff. Now, there's a lot of new steak restaurants in Miami too. Now I know Poppy Steak, who opened up one. I think Nursette is pretty new. Have you tried any of those new steakhouses yet?
I've gone. So my friend Joe is the head chef of STK. Not that it's new, but there's a new chef, and he does great things. We did Quality Meats Restaurant, which I used to work for that company in New York City. They did a great job at our Super Bowl event. I have not been to Poppy Steak. I'd like to go with someone who's paying because I saw their menu pricing.
Yeah, them and Nursette are pretty costly.
Yeah, but they look great.
He makes this Wagyu pastrami you would love.
I heard
that's right up your alley.
It's so right up my alley. The biggest event we ever did is we brought, for the first time ever, Katz's Deli to South Florida. They never left the island of Manhattan. That was the best event we've ever done and the worst event we've ever done.
How come?
Because it was the best event we've ever done because it really got us a lot of press. We had 285 people there.
Especially South Florida loves a good deli. To have the one from New York come down here. Wow.
It was the worst event we've ever done because 285 people were there, and it was just, as you know, Katz's Deli cuts by hand.
It's a lot of work.
A lot of work and a long line to get your first sandwich.
I'm craving pastrami right now for lunch now that you're thinking that.
I think you deserve a good sandwich like that.
I agree.
But it was a really good event. That was for Selfless Love. Ashley Vickers Brown is the founder of that. She's amazing. I love, Connected Warriors, which is another. I like the local ones as much as the big.
Yeah, because some of the big ones, these little ones, they need the awareness, they need the exposure, and once people learn about them through your events, they see the difference they're making, and they want to get involved throughout the year. So when a charity has the support of Red Meat Lovers Club, it's not just that one event. You see that it's the continued support.
Right,
they end up getting volunteers. They end up getting sponsors. So
yeah, so that was at XL Auto, and
see, very cool spot. You guys have great experiences with great venues.
We have really great venues. I mean, that's the thing about South Florida is there's no shortage of interesting spots. There's a lot of events down here. A lot of them take place at the same places. So I do want to be a little bit creative. I do plan on doing a couple big events coming up. We have in May, we're going to do MMA again. So it's a full MMA card. And surrounding the ring will be hundreds of guys and women eating beef. So this gladiator sort of.
I like that. Kind of like a little medieval times. You see the show and eat the fighting. I like
exactly. That. And then I plan on doing an event called Custom Cuts. And that's going to be for the George Snow Scholarship Foundation. My wife, Melissa, is dancing this year.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go see that.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a great foundation.
It's a great foundation. They give away.
That's a lot of work for her. You're gonna have to be supportive for that. It's a lot of hours, a lot of rehearsal. It ain't easy.
It's a lot, but I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan of cheering on my wife.
I want to see you on that dance floor the year
I'll
after
tell you,
that.
I think I would sell a lot of tickets just for the curiosity factor.
Are you light on your feet?
I am not light on anything. But I have been known to take a yoga class or two. I'd have to do a lot of work, but I'm a good cheerer and I'm a good raiser of money for George Snow.
I think Mr. Darnell's going to take that, so I know you're going to raise a lot of money, get a lot of votes, a lot of support.
I certainly hope so. But that event, everyone's going to get a custom button-down shirt from one of our sponsors, Gent Row, and we are going to just be featuring a lot of rare meat, and that will take place at the mall, in a really unique part of the mall in Boca Raton, Florida.
That's going to be fun.
We've never done an event at a mall before, but that's the fun of it. Like, I like first evers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, what is the greatest, I guess, steak restaurant in America, in your opinion? I always hear like the Peter Luger's. Is that, I don't know.
I love Luger's for what the nostalgia of what conjures up in my mind. I've gone there. I lived in Manhattan for 18 years. So whenever it was like a big, first time I went to Luger's, it was like a really big deal in my world. Mm-hmm. Especially on a restaurant manager salary. So when we got there, it was just really a special place, and I would continuously go there.
Is that, you think, the top place, though, in the nation?
Well, we've done a couple of events.
You got to know some hidden gems out there.
Well, yeah, of course. It's my backyard. I have the best. I have the best meat in the world. We've done a couple of events at Burns in Tampa. That place is just I love unique, classic experiences. So, I mean, what is the best? Burns is just a really special place. I love the dessert room. Whenever we would go in there, last year we had 24 guys. The year before we had 22 guys. And, I'm not even a big wine drinker, but I appreciate rarity. And, you go in there, you're like, I want something old and something I can't have. And $150 a bottle for Magnum. We were drinking 1971 French wine.
It's a nice pairing.
Yeah, it was a great pairing. But yes, my favorites in New York City. It depends on what cut, but a bone-in ribeye at Smith Olensky, I'll put that up against anything.
See, you got to match the cut with the place. So if you want a good fillet, you're going here. You want a good. See, now I'm understanding.
Yeah. I think everyone it may be the same thing, but I mean, it's that classical experience.
If you see someone like putting ketchup on a steak, do you just take the plate and throw it? Like, what do you come over there?
It's funny you say that. I definitely do with hot dogs more than even steak. I think hot dogs and ketchup are it's like peanut butter and gasoline. It just doesn't go together, But yeah, no, so I worked for a long time with a famous chef. His name's David Burke. And he always had this saying that he's like, they're coming in here. They want to enjoy their experience, whatever their experience is. I don't personally care. I just want people to enjoy themselves. If you want to put ketchup on your steak, have a good time. I don't want to do it. But some people, if that elevates your experience, then have at it.
No hate. Evan, you're just too good of a guy, man. You're a big guy, but a nice guy and with a huge heart, and you continuously give back. I'm looking at your sweater here, your sweatshirt. I was just in Nashville for the first time ever last weekend. Yep. It says Biscuit Love. No joke. I stay at the Thompson Hotel. I saw the line. I think I'm not exaggerating here. I'm thinking almost a mile. It literally went all the way down the glutch to get into this place. Yeah. I couldn't even get in.
It's hard to get in. Shout out to Carl or James. Carl's the owner and James is their director.
And you know places. You got guys. You really are the connector.
Well,
man.
I used to own a Nashville fried chicken restaurant in Brooklyn, so with a famous chef named Carla Hall, and Carla knows everyone in Nashville because that's where she's from. So I got to know these really great people on a deeper, more intimate experience than just going in and eating there. So
Is the food amazing there? Or is it more just the marketing hype, or is it both?
Food's great.
The food is food matches.
There wouldn't be a mile long line.
That's why I'm wondering some of these places, because it's like, is it just great marketing? Is it just the demand is there? But
it's just so good.
They're backing it up.
The key to Biscuit Love is don't go to the one in the Gulch.
Yeah, I went to the wrong one.
You got to go to one of their outskirt ones by Vanderbilt University, because you can go to eat at Biscuit Love, and then they opened up a pizza place called Za, which is amazing. And on April 29th, we're doing an event across the street from there at E3 Chop House with Luke Bryan, Jason Aldean, and Adam LaRoche. Adam LaRoche is definitely 100% committed. Luke Bryan was at our last Red Meat Lovers Club event in Nashville. We honored his sister's charity, the Brett Boyer Foundation, and I hope that they can come. I understand if they can't, because they certainly command a large paycheck to play, and I would rather make...
rather put that money towards...
Yeah, exactly. But this is a really cool event we're doing in Nashville.
Awesome.
And then the next night, we're driving to Owensboro, Kentucky, which is by the Kentucky Derby, and we're doing a first ever Red Meat Lovers Club Kentucky Derby Owensboro dinner. There's already 100 people committed. There's going to be 150.
That's going to be a good 2-day event.
Yeah, so...
That's a special one. I think probably people from your Florida chapter would go up to this one.
Yeah, we've... the events I do in New York, people come up, and I ask a lot. When it was once a month, people, could come. But now when it's once a week, I understand not everyone can get to everything. But yeah, there's some really special. We have our own cigar, so to segue into that, so we get like this really cool contingent of cigar lovers. We released a cigar with smoke in. It's called the Red Meat Lovers Club, made by a guy named Steve Saka, and that got us into last month's Cigar Aficionado article about how our events are just pretty epic and how we raise a lot of money for different causes. So the
calendar is certainly full for upcoming events. I'm just looking here, just the month of March alone. It's jam packed with a lot more to come. So viewers and listeners, you now know about the Red Meat Lovers Club. It's an exclusive club, networking, business, relationships, friendships, and raising a lot of money together. It's a recipe for success. I love trying to throw in
I like what you do there. And also, so the main Facebook page, and that's where I put a lot of my energy into, because for me, maybe I'm just old, but we have a closed Facebook group. It's called the Red Meat Lovers Club. I'm going to approve, everyone that drops this television or
drops the show. So you say you saw this. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You actually have to join it. I'm looking here right now. So if you go to Facebook and type in Red Meat Lovers Club, it will bring you to the private group. You click join group. It might ask you a couple questions, how you heard about it. Mention the show, and you'll get approved. And this way you could have inside information. Because a lot of these events are limited capacity. The one he's doing at NYY on March 11th in the private room, he can only fit a finite amount of people. So you got to be in sometimes a little earlier to reserve a seat.
You do, and that's why it's just important to follow us and make sure that. And then I didn't tell you this, and you have to come. So once every other month, it used to be once a month, now it's once every month, I have a lunch. It's called Meet Our Sponsors, a.k.a. Steak of the Union, a.k.a. Men Who Lunch.
I love that. And where is this at?
It's either at my house, thankful to Rodan and Fields, my wife's business, that can fit a lot of people, or we'll do it at restaurants, or Jason will find us a place.
I like the lunch meetings. That's great.
Yeah, and I don't charge for them. It's basically what it is. It's a preview to introduce the charity partner of the month. The charity partner, like our events are pretty big, so it's hard to convey the charity component. Like when you're in a room of 200 people. So in a room of 50 people, it's a lot better. And that's what we do. And
that'd be great.
Yeah, it gives a good way to introduce people to the club. And
And the charity also gets a little bit more of a more intimate kind of exposure and
Exactly.
awareness. That's nice.
Same thing with our sponsors.
You send me a text, I will be there, sir. Please invite me.
Thank you.
Red Meat Lovers Club. Evan, it was awesome speaking with you, learning about your club, learning about what you started as a college student and bringing it back now and turning it into just a massive, massive. And look, you're getting all the press because of what you're doing. It's so unique. It's so fun.
Thank
and
you.
it's for such a great, great cause. So
it's a lot of fun. And may I compliment your name again? Evan is a great first name. Thank you to my mother for giving it to me.
What does Evan mean? Did she tell you?
Rock.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I named my son Stone because AKA Rock. So he's kind of named after me.
He's definitely going to be the cool kid in school.
Oh, Stone Golden with a name like that?
Oh, my God. I won't even tell you what career I think of immediately.
Uh-oh.
But it has something to do with dancing.
Okay. I thought maybe wrestling, but that...
Oh, that's a good... You wouldn't even, not a lot of people have to... Are not... They don't have to change their name. It's very rare. You know, I don't think Hulk Hogan was... On the birth certificate, Hulk Hogan.
No.
So, yeah, that's a winning combination of being cool.
He'll live up to it. So Ev, man, this was awesome talking to you. I'm a huge supporter of his club. The foundations he works with are great nonprofits. I know they're so appreciative of you having them be involved. Go to all their social media. If you're watching the show, we appreciate you to like it, to share it, subscribe. Yep. Even if you share it, you might have someone that didn't know about the Red Meat Lovers Club. They learn about it, and then they get involved in it. So we, of course, always appreciate your time for viewing and listening to the show. Ev, we appreciate you for coming on in, representing the Red Meat Lovers Club, doing awesome things. Absolutely.
It's a lot of fun. And then we have also the Instagram. And then I'm going to tell you another insight. This will be the final thing.
One more golden nugget.
This is one more golden nugget. So you already know about this. You already know about that. But there's been a new Instagram account, completely underground. You're going to like it right now. It's called meet.tyler, meat.tyler.com, or not .com, on Instagram.
Who's this Tyler?
That is the commander in beef. Has been approved by my. She used to be called the Saint. Now she's called the Skirt Steak. My wife said that Tyler needs to do meat reviews on Instagram.
I love that.
And it's going to be a game changer. His personality is as big as my neck.
Watch out, David Portnoy. The pizza reviews are going back. We're going to have the steak reviews. So that's cool. Yeah. Meet.Tyler right on Instagram. I'm looking at it right here. T-Bone D. That's going to be fun. I'm going to watch those.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun.
Maybe I'll do a little guest appearance. I'll do a little taste review with him. That's fun. I like that.
That's cool.
That is awesome. Well, viewers and listeners, we are running out of time here. We appreciate you for joining us and listening. Of course, subscribe, share, like I mentioned earlier. It helps us bring on awesome guests like Evan Darnell. Till next time, we're out here. Evan Golden TV, here at our studios in the Berman Law Group. Thank you for joining us. We're out here. Let's go get some lunch. Yep. You want deli?
Pastrami.
What do you want, pastrami? I want pastrami.